Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Fazati Ali and I'm an interior designer who's always giving the best tips on how to make your space look stunning. And guys, it has been so long since I posted a video. I missed it here. I'm literally super emotional about this right now. But I'm gonna hold all that in and we're gonna get straight into today's video. Now, as you've seen from the title already, today's video we're going to be tackling things we need to stop doing in our homes. And number one on my list for that is getting matching furniture sets. Now, over the years, it's been a pretty normal trend, to have matching furniture sets. You walk into a furniture store, it's already all put together for you. They all look the same. You're like, why not? This is actually easier. But does it actually look good? Or we can actually have a different way of doing things that looks even better. Now, my advice would be mix and match. Be it your dining room, be it your living room, be it your bedroom. Please don't go for matching furniture sets. When it comes to your dining area, have your table. It doesn't have to match your chairs. You don't have to have a woody table with woody French chairs. You can have a wood table with metal chairs. You can have a marble table with clear plastic chairs, and so on. The same thing applies to your living area. Get that sofa of yours, and instead of having matching one-seaters, please get really stunning, unique accent chairs that will tie together with other materials in your space. This will look so much better. When it comes to your bedrooms, and I feel like this is where people really fall victim to this, I know. When you walk into a store and there's a bed and a dresser and bedside tables and it comes as one, it's easier. But let's forget easy and make our homes look more versatile and aesthetic. So get your bed, you don't have to match it to your side tables, get something unique for that, and also get something different for your dresser. As long as you mix and match properly and create a cohesive look, this will look absolutely beautiful. Now, the second thing we need to stop doing in our homes is buying mass-produced artwork. Now, I can't stress this enough. Mass-produced artwork is literally printed art that is produced in large numbers, can be bought by a lot of people and be in so many different homes. Now, does this give a unique look to your space? No. Does it reflect your personality? No. This does not give your home a personalized look, neither does it always look aesthetic. What you want to do is go for unique art pieces, and guys, try to promote the artists in your country, the artists in your area. You'll definitely find something better when you go for something that an artist has actually done. Now, sometimes people think it's always going to be expensive. I feel like if you are to really explore your options, you will find something that you can actually afford. And if this is still too out of your budget, then you can try to produce an art piece on your own. It's always pretty easy, mostly when it comes to abstract art. Just get a canvas, get a frame, produce something, do something, and there's always YouTube tutorials on this, so you can always come up with something unique that will actually stick to your taste. Of course, I would advise to mostly go for abstract pieces. I feel like these ones are always very, unique to each other. It's very hard to find an abstract piece that looks exactly like another. So this will be unique to your home and it will give it a more aesthetic look. My last advice would be always try to go for larger pieces compared to smaller pieces. If you're going for smaller pieces, maybe it's because you're trying to create a gallery art wall. So let's do away with live, laugh, love. Let's do away with home sweet home. You don't have to put home sweet home on your wall to make your home sweet. So yeah, guys, let's take this advice seriously and get unique art pieces for our spaces. Now, the next thing we want to avoid is combining colors without using a proper system. Now, when it comes to interior design, we have a system in which can help us when picking out colors to use in a space, and it is called the color wheel. Now, the color wheel is what helps us as designers come together or pull together different colors that we're going to use in a particular space. There are different color schemes you can use when it comes to the color wheel. You can always go for a monotonous color scheme. This is when you pick one shade and use different tones of it in one space, creating a monochromatic look. So you can choose to go with that in your space. If you don't want that, you can go for complementary color scheme if you're a bit more of a bold colors kind of person, this would be the color scheme for you. It allows you to use two different colors facing each other on the color wheel in your space. Now this creates also a beautiful bold look that actually comes together really well. There's still another color scheme that allows you to use the colors sitting next to each other on the color wheel really well, creating a cohesive look. Now I have a whole video on how to combine colors, the different color schemes that come together when you're using the color wheel, and I will link that up here and in the description below. Check it out and definitely get all the tips you need when it comes to combining colors in your interiors. So be very careful when you're picking colors for your space. Don't just pick random colors just because an item looks good. You might be creating a disaster in your space. You have to create a nice cohesive look that actually represents a well thought out color scheme. Now another thing that definitely needs to stop, and this is mostly by people who are building their own homes, is having exaggerated ceiling designs. And this is mostly when it comes to gypsum. I get it. Gypsum can be molded into different shapes, different patterns, different designs. You can have whatever you want when it comes to gypsum. But let's just stop, take it down a notch, and always remember that simplicity goes a really long way. Now, a simple ceiling design will give you a much more elegant and classy vibe that will just give your home a much more elevated look. Just go for something beautiful and simple, and I assure you, your home will give a much more elegant look. Now, another point we need to take into consideration, and this is still related to ceilings, is having colored lighting. And a lot of times, this is when people have gypsum ceilings and they just decide to go green, blue, pink. I don't understand it. Like, these colors easily make a space feel dull. And unless it's your child's room and you're just trying to make it playful and colorful, fine. But for the general areas in a home, your living area, your dining area, these colors do not work. I would suggest always go for white light. You can keep it warm, you can keep it cool, depending on the space, but definitely white lights, guys. Not only does white light give ample brightness to a space, but it also gives a nice calm vibe that is quite inviting. Colored lights can be avoided unless you're working with a club. I don't know why else you'd need colored lighting in your home. If you're working with your home, please choose the right lighting. Of course, have your general light, have your accent light, have your task light, but all this coming together need to give your home the look it deserves. Now, another very important tip we need to keep in mind is having exposed cables. Now, this one's easily cheapen the look of a space. You know, your TV cables, your computer cables, and so on. These ones always have to be kept hidden. Now, the question I get a lot is, how do I do this? How do I hide my TV cables? Now, of course, the easiest way when it comes to your TV cables is to have your socket up at the area where the TV is going to be hung. That's the easiest way. You won't have to worry about are the cables going to be seen or not. But of course, if you're renting a space, you definitely have no say in where the socket is going to be placed. It's probably going to be down there near the skirting. Of course, here, if you're going to hang your TV up, you're going to have this really long cords hanging down to probably where your cabinet is, and this does not give a neat look, right? The first easiest way to deal with this situation, which is what I did in my space, is just to place your TV on the cabinet. The cords that are going to be inside will be almost invisible because the TV is sitting on the cabinet, and it's a much easier way to just keep those cords hidden behind the cabinet area. But if you really want to hang your TV up and you're going to have these cords hanging, and buy this particular sort of pipe, it's very easy to install. You can have your cords pass through it and then stick it on the wall. And of course, to also make it blend even more, you can paint it the same color as the wall. When it comes to your PCs, computers and all, you can always go for the same option, or better yet, you can always use furniture pieces or accessories to hide your cables. You can have a vase, you can have books, you can stack a few things here and there and have your cables pass behind them, and this way they're still invisible to the eye, and that's what we're trying to achieve. This will give your home a more organized look, elevating the look, and of course it will allow you to avoid making your home look cheap. Now the last thing I need us to avoid is going to be touching about curtains, and this will be hanging curtains low or going for short curtains. Now this is a point I've touched upon on so many of my videos, so yeah, this is something that is very important. Now guys, when you're going for curtains, try to make sure first of all you're going for curtains that are hanging ceiling to floor. Avoid short curtains because this gives your home a very cheap vibe. Longer curtains definitely upgrade the look of your space. Now another thing to keep in mind is at what height do I hang my curtains? Try to always hang your curtains near the ceiling. A mistake that has been made over the years, probably decades and decades going back, is hanging curtains right above the window. Unless your window is near the ceiling, then you want to make sure you're actually hanging your curtains near the ceiling. Forget about how low your window is, just keep it up there because this looks a whole lot better. Always try to levelize the height where you hang all your curtains. This gives the room a much more uniform look and makes it look a lot neater. Now I have a whole video touching on mistakes to avoid when hanging curtains. I will link it up here, I will link it in the description below. Make sure to check it out and learn all you can about hanging curtains the right way. So we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys got to learn something. If you have any other tips, do let me know in the comment section below. I would also love to learn from you. I feel like this video needs a lot more tips that need to be discussed. I'm going to be doing a part 2 and part 3 of this particular series of things to stop doing in our homes. So do stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button below so that you can always be notified when I upload a new video. Anyway guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. See you in the next one, inshallah. Love you guys so much. Bye bye.